Biztos kurva szar lesz a videó.
In this video,
It sounds like something is in the closet. I don't even know. Maybe.
Amúgy nem. Mármint jó game, de
you'd
hát
better
nem.
find a seat and sit down.
Nem tudom, ilyen,
These are 30
amire most így
videos
most
that
csinálom,
will
úgyhogy
make your knees
néha
weak.
játszok
Number 30.
Disney.
At the desk, YouTuber Joel believes
Arra így
his
nem
home is
rossz, de
haunted.
nem
The
tudom.
scary video was captured on a security camera. While his
Már
girlfriend was home alone, watch the desk chair.
Ja, ez az a srác, akinek a hangja, ez a hülye hangon beszél.
Note this clip is playing at 3 times speed. It actually moved quite slowly in the beginning. Here it is at normal speed. It picked up a little momentum later on.
Gyerekek, ez a videó, bazd meg. Geci. Nem volt elég ez a TFT, bazd meg. Ahol így mindenkinek olyan dolgai vannak, hogy nem érte senki, mert 87 000 augment, 80 vagy nem lehet elmenni se. Elmennek meg csak simán szar a széke, az forog, bazd meg.
She appears to be in a weird trance. Joel doesn't mention anything about that, but it makes me think that perhaps this isn't a ghost after all. Maybe the girlfriend is hiding something, a telekinetic power.
Or maybe a kibaszott szék forog, bazd meg. Magától, mert hát nincs beolajozva.
YouTuber Juan Serrano has found yet another, the Days in New Windsor, New York, where he works. Watch the door to the left on the security monitor. At first, hanging ajar, the door closes on its own for no apparent reason. Shortly after, a man tries the knob, and it appears to be locked. Could this just be an airflow issue? Or did a spirit slam that door shut? I think either is possible. If only we had security footage from the other side of that black door. Number 28. Giant monster. Have you ever come across a thumbnail that instantly made you click? I have. I came across this image on a Spanish list video by Kisa Weba. Of course, I wanted to see the video associated with the image, but the list unfortunately did not include the video. The figure in the image appears to be a giant, roaming over the rolling green hills of the countryside. It has elongated features and a gaping mouth. It's clearly coming toward the photographer or videographer, but I also find the blurred figure to the right chilling. Even though his features are blurred, they don't look human either. His eyes appear bulgy and glowing. I tried to track down the original video, but was unable
Bazd, gyerekek, ez tihany a videó közben már.
to find it. A call to action for my subscribers. If you can find the original source of this image, please share it with me in the comments. Let's get to the bottom of this mystery. Number 27. Night with Ghosts. While spending the night with ghosts, Dennis from Dark Life comes face to face with his nightmares. As he sits at the dinner table, he hears something tearing and dragging. This goes on for ages.
Hát azért van rajta maszk, bazd meg, hogy ne látszódjon, hogy röhög.
The poltergeist is angry. As Dennis examines the destruction.
The poltergeist is angry.
As Dennis examines the
poltergeist is angry.
The poltergeist is angry. As Dennis examines the destruction, it gets angrier. Later, Dennis tries to interact with the poltergeist, and he receives an enthusiastic response.
Надо постучать. Воу.
Whoa is right. Dennis's videos never fail to scare the life out of me, and this one is yet another terrifying ordeal, and by the looks of it, this poltergeist will stop at nothing to take him out. He'd better not try his luck. Number 26. Walking in the dark, YouTuber Ibnu Fauci was driving on a dirt road in thick woods at night when he happened upon an unlikely soul.
Ini ceweknya apa ya yang tadi ya?
They approached the woman
Kurva
in the
dolgos.
dark.
Ini orang kali, Pak. Ini cewek yang tadi itu dicari kakaknya ini. Masa? Ditinggal cowoknya pada pergi nih. Alah. Tuh kan ngegeng pelakunya.
She appears to be holding something large over her head, like an umbrella. She continues to walk slowly.
Like an umbrella,
They decide
azt
to
pont
pass
olyan.
her.
Valószínűleg egy szörgdeszka is lehetne az ott.
Jangan-jangan yang buat sarapan itu ya.
It turns out to be a large piece of cardboard. They don't get a good look at her face. After pulling ahead, they stop and get out of the car to look back, but she's nowhere to be seen.
Mbak, ini Mbak di belakang tadi kan sebelah sini kan. Mbak.
Once back in the car, they realize she's somehow come out ahead of them.
Jalan. Wah.
Oke.
Wah.
Innalillahi.
Wah.
Allahu Akbar.
Wah. Rahine perura kureka.
But again, they get out of their car to find she's vanished.
Wah, aja nyong tunggu nih. Entar ini nyong. Mbak. Wah. Mari di Wak. Wak.
And they find her again, but this time she's their passenger.
Wah, bisa nang jero mobil, Pak. Nang jero mobil, Pak.
Somehow they get back into the car after she's left, but they do see her one last time.
Kue, Pak. Kue. Wah, aduh, balik, Pak. Kok mlebung jero mobil maning, Pak. Wah.
What is this creature? A ghost? A zombie?
What is
Why
this
didn't he get
creature?
away from her sooner and faster? I feel this is probably a production, but I kind of hope it's chillingly real. Number 25. Let's play. This one's short, sweet, and to the point. While trying to communicate with the spirit world sends exploring revenants paranormal a message.
Rituals.
No way, dude. No way.
Not only did the cat ball light up, but it appears to have been flung across the room by something invisible. The cat ball is resting on the arm of the couch, which sits against the wall. There's no one there to have touched it.
Rituals.
Oh, no way, dude. No way.
That's a poltergeist if I ever saw one. Now the real question is, what does it want with them? Number 24. Unexpected poltergeist. After playing a Ouija board, strange things started happening to YouTuber Haunting Jersey while doing cartwheels with her friend over video. This was captured on camera unexpectedly. Later, something else moves across the counter.
Whatever, it's fine. Okay, anyway.
I guess the moral of the story is, don't ever play the Ouija board.
Igen,
because
sose játsz a Luigi
it
boarddal.
will interrupt your fun. Number 23. Ghost crying. Why would a ghost be weeping? YouTuber D-Doc Michael investigates this haunted home to find out. Before he even has a chance to enter, he hears something inside.
누구 있어요?
The sound continues, putting Michael on edge. An ordinary dish rag moves before his very eyes. He then finds photographs and discarded paper, and as he lifts them up, something unexpected happens. In another room, he hears mysterious sounds again.
자, 이제 장난은 여기까지만 하시고.
That's when he hears the ghost crying.
아까 약이요? 약? 무슨 약이요? 할머니 무슨 약이요?
After grabbing his night vision
Me?
camera to check it out, he is scared by something on the other side of the room.
Nem is volt sírás. De most itt közben rágyújtott cigizni.
It's pretty
Is
clear
me.
to me that there's a presence here
Silent
in this
cigizi.
haunted home, but what it wants with Michael is a whole other nightmare. Number 22, Paranormal Home. Something wishes to enter this paranormal home, and the YouTube team Han Kardashler are reluctant to let it in. They're looking out of the window for the cause of a sound they heard when they hear another disturbance in the next room.
Kapıya vuruyor biri. Aynı şekilde sen yoktun ya, kapıya da vurdular bayram.
Something is at the door.
Kim var orada? Bu köyden birisi misin?
But they don't want to let it in. In fact, they don't open the door and instead head out of the broken window.
Abi burada bir şey ya öldürüldü, yani öldürülmüş, sürüklenmiş gibi bir şey var burada.
It seems that, in reality, they don't want to face what's on the other side, and personally, I don't blame them. Number 21,
Yeah, this
in
is-
the tall grass, in the scary video, YouTube team KBC Cazadores de Fantasmas are investigating an area where an unidentified flying object was sighted.
Hát ez
First,
borzasztó
using a
sikerül
spirit
eddig.
box, one of the teams senses something nearby.
Igen, a sávú hang és idegesítő amúgy, meg amiket mond, az is idegesítő. Az előző videó az konkrétan az volt, hogy kopogtak az ajtón, ki se nyitották, az kimásztak az ablakon.
But they don't find anything. Later, they all seem to hear a disturbance in the tall grass at the same time.
És ez legalább jó, gondolom nem.
After running toward it, they're in the cornfield again.
Você viu o barulho, né? Vocês viram o barulho, né?
But whatever they saw has vanished. Is something paranormal truly here? Or is the team experiencing mass hysteria? I think the extraterrestrials are watching them.
Nem. Na, tehát ez
Chills. Number 10, Ghost Jail. A YouTuber named Junked Up Kitten and his friends are exploring an old county jail. They take a video camera with them so that they can make a parody of the Ghost Hunters television series. Little did the small group know that on this night they would accidentally capture actual evidence of real ghosts. Junked Up Kitten wanders around the property with the camera close to his face while narrating. He passes by an ordinary looking jail cell window and doesn't think much of it at the time. When he goes back to review the footage,
Itt hallatszódik amúgy így a hangja a faszinak. Nem olyan. Nem, mint hogy szándékosan beszél úgy, mint az előző videóban.
The colorless reflection of a man's face stares at him. You can clearly see the outline of the ghost's brow, nose, and empty eyes. His head is cocked to the right, almost as if he is sizing up a newcomer. His mouth appears to be a thin, expressionless line. If anything, the ghost has incredible timing. Right when Junked Up Kitten says that he is looking for evidence of ghosts, one just happens to show up in the window. It's almost as if the ghost was trying to make its presence known. Perhaps it was even trying to get a hold of someone who could free it from its miserable cell. Number 9. Restaurant Spooks. Most people think of houses, hospitals, or jails when they think about ghost sightings, but some of the most unsuspecting of places can turn out to be the most haunted. This footage was taken in a popular food joint during broad daylight. A shadowy ghost suddenly materializes in a Subway restaurant. It starts out in the shape of a human and almost appears to be getting a table. When it gets back to its seat, the black shadow suddenly changes into a floating black blob of an orb. At this point, an employee or maybe a customer appears to see the ghost in the doorway. Whoever they are, they look stunned for a second and then quickly back away. The shadow orb pays no attention to the human as it floats up to the window and lingers there. It's almost as if it's taking a look at the outside world. The ghost starts to rise even higher and shrinks until it fully disappears back to wherever it came from. Number 8. The Ghost Stadium. Ghosts don't have to wait until nighttime before they can begin to haunt. As this Brazilian soccer footage shows, the crowd is happily cheering on their favorite team when suddenly a shadow ghost starts sprinting through all of them. Look closely and you'll notice how nobody tries to move out of the way. Even though a person is clearly running full speed at them, not a single person tries to pull their legs in or even bothers to look up. They are so concentrated on the game that they do not see, feel, or hear the ghost as it runs directly through the half-filled stadium in a straight line. Number 7. Fridge Ghost. A YouTuber named No Ghost Hunter grows tired of living in a haunted home and decides to videotape the disturbances for evidence. It's a little past midnight when he hears scratching noises. Which soon progresses into running footsteps and loud bangs. These noises appear to be coming from all different areas of the home at once. The next day, his HD TV literally begins rocking violently from side to side all by itself. The rocking motion picks up speed until the corners of the TV are almost hitting the entertainment center, and it looks like the base is going to break. Then the TV starts rocking back and forth the other way. There is nobody behind the television, and there's no way they could have been using strings to do this. The day after, No Ghost Hunter finds a short video on his phone that he is 100% sure he did not make. The video is shot from the ground level of his kitchen. When you look at the reflection in the oven, you can see that nobody is holding the phone. The phone is literally floating in midair. Additional footage shows the TV shaking by itself again. This time, No Ghost Hunter is able to film behind the television to show that this is not a prank at all. He waves his hand above the television to show that there's no wires, and he even films underneath the base to show that there is no rod coming out from the entertainment center or anything like that. The lights cut out multiple times while he films. A few days later, he captures his refrigerator door slamming open and closed again and again. The brazen poltergeist leaves the door open to make sure its presence is fully known. Number 6. Watched from above. A group of British friends are playing catch in a courtyard when one of them
Lehetett volna az a cím is, hogy videó, amíg le nem áll az agyam.
Stops on a pale face looking at them from high above. The sickly person looks at them for a second longer before silently slipping out of view. The group is now creeped out and wants to know who has been spying on them this whole time. They tell the property manager about the face they saw in the window, but she says that it's impossible. The room they are talking about has been locked and unoccupied for quite some time. The manager goes up with them to unlock the door and show them around. They try and find the person, but the place is completely empty. There's no way anyone could have been up there, yet the camera obviously says differently. The mysterious peeper has never been identified. Number 5. Old Pete's Ghost. There's a famous pub in Sydney, Australia called the Carlisle.
Hihetetlen, hogy a másik videóban annyira tényleg idegesítően artikulált, ebben a videóban meg idegesítően gyorsan és folyamatosan beszél. Szünet nélkül. Kb.
His ghostly antics have been caught on camera no less than 3 times. The first time Pete was caught on tape, he was helping a customer. The unsuspecting man opens the door to the cooler when Pete decides to grab 2 bottles of red wine for himself. His ghost grip must have not been too tight though, because both bottles go crashing to the floor. Looking at the footage, there's no way that the shelf gave out or anything like that. The bottles were thrown to the ground with deliberate force with no one nearby. Another incident occurred when the bar was full of witnesses. Everyone is happily enjoying themselves
Nem.
when a hanging
Ennél amúgy a bizarr bub az mennyivel jobb már.
Glass shards fly everywhere and the entire bar takes notice. Although this could have simply been a freak accident, what are the chances that, of all the red wine glasses, the one that's directly underneath the server happens to be the one to fall and break?
Ezek a videók literálisan az, hogy így bármilyen videó, amire rá van mondva bármi. Tehát konkrétan bármilyen videó, amin történik valami, és rá van mondva, hogy ez akár még szellem is lehetett.
He appears to be waving. Many other
Nézd meg.
bartenders and customers all claim to have seen old Pete for themselves in one way or another. It isn't uncommon for tapes to turn on by themselves, and the bartenders have seen what they can only describe as strange things while counting down their registers after close. To make this all even stranger, all of the bottles that go crashing to the floor are always high-end red wines. This just so happened to be old Pete's favorite drink, at least when he was still with the living. Number 4, the church disturbance. Steve and Jake are wandering around the woods one summer night with a single goal in mind. They want to explore an abandoned local chapel that's rumored to be haunted. As they approach, they see that someone has written prayers and warnings all over the outside wall.
Nem tudom, amúgy itt ezek közül még akár lehetne bármelyik jó is, de olyan gyorsan van előadva, meg olyan gyorsan mondja, meg mit tudom én, hogy teljesen ruined az egész, nem? Érzésre.
Paranormal activity, but they could tell this church is way different. The place looked and felt quite haunted. They go up some wooden steps and enter through the back door. They shine their flashlights deep into the church's main assembly. There's rows and rows of wooden pews ahead of them. They pass by a podium and notice a piano. Then they head deeper inside. Now they find themselves inside of a small maintenance closet. They close the door behind them.
Ráadásul a bizarr bubosnál ott még meg is van szerkesztve idézőjelben a videó, atmoszférikusan, vagy nem tudom, hogy alá van téve hang, aztán meg van vágva a hang rá.
Down on him if he does, so he decides not to. That's when the piano starts to play from outside.
Oh no. Oh my god, turn it off, turn it off. Listen. That's fucking piano. Is that piano? Come on. Should we go out there? Is that door open?
It's a soft and haunting piano melody that fills the church. Steve and Jake shut off their flashlights and keep recording. They debate whether or not they should go outside or stay here, where it's semi-safe. They realize that they can't spend the entire night trapped in the broom closet of a haunted church, so they turn their flashlights back on to see who is playing. Sitting at the piano at the far end of the room is a black hunched-over phantom. They scream and shut the door. Jake cries for a bit, then they run away through the back exit. The music stops as soon as they leave the church. They were hoping that the music stopped because it was over, but in reality, it was because the ghost had gotten up from the piano to chase them. They run a good distance before pausing to look back into the dark scenery. It seems like they've gotten away, but then the ghost finds them and they run away screaming. The camera cuts off as they fall back deeper into the woods. At least one of them survived and uploaded this video onto YouTube, where it's remained for the past 10 years. Number 3, the teleporter.
Ez jobb videó, Sicario.
When one of them sees something in the doorway, pause the video and you can see it's clearly the upper half of a young girl who is dressed in old-fashioned clothes from another time period. She is floating in midair as she curiously peeks in on the two children to see what they are doing. One of the girls still doesn't see the ghost. She shouts at something that's on television and accidentally startles the ghost away. The girl with the camera follows the ghost as it retreats. The ghost instantly teleports and now stares at them from the top of the steps. The scared girls run out of the house screaming. They stop only for a second to turn around from the street. They can see the ghost girl walking across the left window on the top floor. It vanishes and then suddenly appears on the bottom floor.
Hát az igazság, hogy mivel csak a srácnak a hangját halljuk amúgy, bármi történhetne a videón. Kb. Mert amúgy a videók minősége is szar, de tehát kb. Bármi történhetne ilyen minőség mellett, mivel csak a srácnak a hangját halljuk, aki konkrétan rádió felolvasást tart. Ebből aztán semmi. Ez nem is az alacsony, az alacsony az rossz szó. De hát mégis 18 millió ember ezt már. A Google az jobb lenne. Állítom. Ehhez képest, na csak most izének nézzük meg.
It's late at night when a girl named Pershka records a video in her kitchen.
Bazzeg, ez új bizarr boob videó. Na tessék, új bizarr boob videó. Ehhez képest, na figyeld.
The purpose of the video is to show an ice machine that she recently purchased, as there's something about it that creeps her out. The ice maker, according to her, makes a very strange noise during the late hours of the night. So one night, as the ice machine makes its unusual noise, Pershka heads over to the kitchen to record the sound. But as she records this video, something pretty creepy is caught on camera. What was supposed to be a short, random video turned out to be a terrifying clip that Pershka has recently taken down for unknown reasons. She didn't say why she took down the clip, but it seems that the video itself says it all. Have a look. Like a scene out of a horror movie, Pershka walks into the kitchen and captures for just a split second the figure of a little girl. Even creepier is that whoever this was just disappears as soon as the lights turn on. It's for this reason that viewers believe she had taken down the clip, as otherwise it would continue to remind her of this disturbing incident. Whatever was captured has left her extremely unsettled. Even though this video was taken a few years ago, it is still unknown as to whether or not Pershka had captured something paranormal on camera.
Jó. Hát itt jobb volt ez az egész. Erre is mondjuk rá lehet mondani azt, hogy igaz, ott volt egy kis lenszpont, amikor elfordította, fölkapcsolja a lámpát, arrébb ment, az pont nincs benne a kamerában. Amúgy nem, tehát annyira figyelve van a... Hogy pont úgy tartja, hogy itt na mindegy.
Denver State Hospital. Before shutting down in 1992, the asylum had an estimate of 3,000 patients, all of whom were severely mentally ill and poorly treated. Nurses who used to work here recall seeing horrifying things that continue to haunt them to this day. From patients walking around in their own filth due to a lack of basic hygiene, to patients receiving forced lobotomies that would often leave them in a much worse state than before. Employees of the Denver State Hospital are haunted by these terrible memories. However, aside from the past, the asylum is infamous for being extremely creepy. After shutting down in 1992, teens would come here after hearing rumors that the building was haunted. Although this next video wasn't taken by a trespassing teen, it was taken by a curious security guard back in 2000 whose job was to look after the historic building. But little did he know that he would capture something very strange while exploring the basement of the asylum. Take a look.
Biztos kurva jó ötlet ide jönni. Még poénból is. Ez a felvétel is valami 2000-es évekbeli kamerával készülhetett. Aha, nem.
It's a bit hard to see at first, but as the night guard pans the camera to a room inside the basement, a shadowy figure can be seen moving slowly inside. The guard doesn't notice the figure until much later after rewatching the footage. Naturally,
hát vagy csak egy tükör volt benn, és látszott saját maga.
Walking further into the room as if trying to hide from him. Mind you, the basement of this building is completely inaccessible to outsiders, so there's no way
volt valaki vele, és
trespassers
az
could
látszott
get
bent, vagy ő volt bent.
It's no wonder that viewers believe something supernatural was captured. But of course, the question is begged. Just what exactly was caught on camera? Whether ghost or not, it remains a mystery as to what was captured.
Jó, ez amúgy, ez már most sokkal szubkébb, mint az előző, bármennyire.
Has no idea where the video came from. Its original source is unknown, but despite its mysterious origins, the clip is sufficiently creepy on its own. The video seems to have come from a CCTV camera that was placed in front of a driveway. Everything appears to be normal, until you notice the two strangers that are standing outside the owner's home. They come into view as the owner beams them with the car headlights, presumably as an attempt to scare them off. This, however, doesn't work. They're still there, while eerily standing still. It is at this point, though, where things get really creepy. Watch.
Watch. Húzzatok a picsába, bazd meg.
In utter disbelief, the property owner sees the two strangers disappear without a trace. Clearly, there had been two individuals standing outside, but somehow they vanished as soon as the lights were flashed again. Now, how exactly this happened is something viewers can't seem to explain, and with little info on this clip, the video becomes even more mysterious. If two strangers were seen on camera, then how is it possible that they suddenly disappeared?
Pikachu, téged nem lehet elkapni.
In the following video, a man is woken up after hearing strange noises inside his apartment. The man lives alone, so he finds it alarming to hear what sounds like an intruder inside his home. He quickly grabs his phone and begins to record. Strangely, the sound of footsteps.
Eszembe, hogyha hallanám, hogy valaki van benne úgy a lakásban, hogy vagy olyasmi, biztos, hogy nem telefon, biztos, hogy nem kameráznám magamat.
That he decided to leave from the safety of his room to investigate the attic space. He treads carefully as to avoid any physical confrontations. As Nick looks around and checks every corner, he sees that no one is there. Not even traces of a person, such as footprints, can be found anywhere. This was definitely strange. But Nick doesn't really think much of it, since plenty of other strange things have happened before inside his apartment. Though, it would be a few nights later when the strangest encounter happens. Nick is once again woken up by strange noises from his attic. Only this time, he decides to check it out as it happens. Needless to say, what's captured here is pretty spooky. Watch.
Miért nem kapcsolja lámpát?
The door to the attic somehow opens on its own as soon as Nick approaches it. Feeling spooked, Nick is completely unsettled.
Nem tűnt úgy, mint az zárva lett volna,
It's
nem?
now apparent that something strange is going on.
Hát nem tűnt úgy,
As
mint...
if things couldn't get any more creepy, the following night, Nick is recording his dog when he captures this.
De nem a WC-re ment ki Pikachu, nem azt így úgy gondolta, hogy valaki van a padláson.
What was it? Yo.
Jó.
Nick's dog immediately goes on high alert. His dog is sensing something that doesn't appear to be there.
Hát azért a high alert az...
senses something dangerous. With all that's happened before,
azért a high alert az azért...
with his apartment. He believes it might
High alert a kutyára.
thinks that the attic might have something to do with this. Whether ghost or not, he's deeply unsettled by these incidents. Despite living somewhere else now, he can't seem to forget the strange events that have happened there. So then, just what exactly was going on inside Nick's apartment? Like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
Az is hogy simán olyan volt a házban, aztán, hogy ilyen hülye hangok voltak valamitől, bármitől.
This next video was recorded by a security camera inside an apartment complex. Not much is known about this video, except that it came from this residential building where the little girl and her family reside. The video starts off with footage of the young girl playing by a staircase. Below the stairs is what appears to be a small room. The little girl can be seen staring at something inside the room, but nothing noticeable can be seen on footage. Or at least, that's what the child's parents initially thought. It was only after watching this video multiple times that the parents were left horrified. Something was actually captured inside this room. Take a look.
Take a look. Na ne basz. No way.
It now becomes clear as to why the little girl seemed hesitant to go inside. A disembodied hand can be seen beckoning to the girl. It almost seems to come out of nowhere before disappearing into thin air. Even the cat who later joins the girl seems unsure about going inside. Whatever this might have been was concerning enough to make them reluctant about entering the space. This mysterious footage, like most videos, has yet to be solved. But until then, you be the judge on what was captured inside this room. On August 23rd of 2023, George Cruz and his wife had just finished making dinner and were heading towards the living room to eat their meal. The couple sit close to each other while watching their favorite TV program. As minutes pass, it appears that nothing strange is happening in this footage. But fast forward to just a few more seconds, and something happens that scares the living daylights out of the couple. Prior to this incident, George and his wife had been experiencing strange occurrences inside their house. Before having to document any of these occurrences, they would often wake up in the dead of night and hear faint whispering coming from somewhere inside the house. But creepiest of all is when the couple would see household items move on their own. Over time, the activity has become so intense that the couple has asked for help from those who specialize in the paranormal. It was recommended that they set up cameras around their home to capture evidence of the so-called paranormal activity, so the couple act accordingly. Weirdly enough, they were also told to get rid of a certain item inside their house. George and his wife own an old rocking chair, and apparently the couple does exactly that by selling it. And surprisingly, a buyer has taken an interest in purchasing the chair. The couple holds onto the chair until the buyer comes over to pick it up sometime next week. But in the meantime, something very strange is captured on their cameras. No one is home when this is captured.
Hát most bazen nagy dolog, na. Hát hagyj hintázom már a szellem egy kicsit. Nem? Mondjuk miért megy a ventilátor? Ha nincs otthon senki. Hát szerintem... Hát mondjuk de... 21:40 van. Nem tudom. Hát most el lehet ezt képzelni azt, hogy tényleg, tehát most tegyük fel, hogy tényleg történik valami, bekamarázzák, akkor a világ meg annyi hülye van, meg amúgy is bárkivel történhet hülyeség, vagy ilyesmi, és akár még azok között lehet valakinél tényleg történik olyan dolog, amit nem tudsz megmagyarázni, aki bekamarázza, és aztán tényleg történik, szóval azt mondom, hogy kikamarázza be, hát Amerikában simán benne van, hogy bekamarázzák még akár csak úgy is. Sem azt mondom, hogy ez így full legit. Itt egyike se fogjuk tudni megmondani, hogy melyik legit, melyik nem, főleg a mai világban.
However, this wouldn't be the only footage they'd be showing, because as of recent, more activity has been caught on camera. Not long after this video, the following incident was captured. Take a look.
Ja, egyébként a visszanézés az meg másik, hogy tényleg, hát most, hogyha érdekli őket, akkor visszanézik, a másik meg, amit Szikerül mond, hogy vannak olyanok, amik a felvételen jelzik azt, hogy a kamera mondjuk mikor mozgott, és akkor azt a részét visszanézik. Ezt én sem értem amúgy.
Now, moments before an object falls down, the camera pans over to the shelf as though sensing movement in that area.
Pontos
What's
asztal.
weird about this, though, is that it sensed it before the DVD case had fallen on its own. Now, one could say that the camera picked up movement from the TV, but if that were so, then the camera would have already moved earlier, given that there were things moving on the screen way before the camera had moved. It seems like this was a random occurrence, unless it was sensing something else. The couple continued to document these strange occurrences in the hopes that someone could explain what's happening. Ultimately, their goal is to stop the activity. But until then, it seems they'll continue to share more footage of this unusual situation. In the following video, a man is alone at home
Hát
when he
nagyjából
realizes
amúgy ezek
the
a
lights
videók
in his
ugyanolyanok, mint
basement
a másik
won't turn on.
csatornán, csak sokkal
Feeling
jobb a
a bit
narráció,
scared,
és
he
sokkal jobb
walks
az
down into the
atmoszféra,
cellar
ami
with
meg van
caution.
teremtve a videó
According to him, it's not the
szerkesztése által.
darkness that scares him, but the basement itself. From time to time, noises such as footsteps or the sound of someone walking back and forth can be heard coming from inside. This often happens when no one else is at home. Now, the man had this experience previously, but it was at his job.
Persze.
He works as a
Persze.
grave digger, and oftentimes, after placing a coffin inside a freshly dug grave, he would feel as though someone else was there with him. Although unable to explain this unusual sensation, it would be the following incident that leaves him extremely baffled. The man checks the basement to see why the lights aren't turning on, but he checks carefully because, as he states, he just heard the sound of footsteps walking about as though someone is down there. Be sure to pay close attention, as what was captured wasn't noticed until looking closely. This is what was caught.
At the moment, in the basement, and I swear I keep hearing someone walk. I don't know exactly what it is, but
Az nem, ilyen kis fasza. Ez a pince.
laundry room still has power, so that's good. But the rest of the basement's power
Az egy komoly kis
is
pince.
completely out, which is very strange. I'm not sure
Ez nagyon komoly pince.
what that noise was, but I don't know. I'm home alone right now, so
Jó, hát Amerikában vagy még azt is lehet képzelni, hogy valamelyik csöves ide beköltözött, vagy nem is csöves, de hogy így érted, valami random ember így érted, beköltözött, ez itt lakik, az benn van a házban valahol, hogy a falba, vagy mit tudom
there's been a
én.
lot of strange things happening.
Now it happens real fast, but in case you missed it, if you look closely as the man pans the camera to the bathroom, you can see what appears to be a strange, shadow-like figure standing completely still inside a bathtub. It doesn't appear to be moving at all, as if who, or whatever this was, had been entirely stiff.
Ez egyértelműen egy szar. Tehát a videón mi sokkal rosszabbul látjuk ezt az árnyékot, mint ő élőben. Tehát, hogyha ezt ő élőben nem látta, vagy nem reagált rá, akkor ez biztos, hogy semmi. Tehát ne vicceljünk már, hogy azt mi egy felvételen keresztül, vagy az lehet még, hogy csak a felvételen látszik. Tehát, hogyha csak a felvételen látjuk ezt az árnyékot, ő meg úgy, hogy ott van előtte, semmit nem látott.
Even creepier is that when the man returns to the bathroom, the figure is no longer there. Given its strange appearance and sudden disappearance, the man thinks that something supernatural was captured. But as always, I'll leave it to you to come up with your own conclusions. Could it be that someone had broken in and quickly hid away from the man? Or might this be something completely
Azt mondom, hogy vannak
different?
ilyenek, bazd meg. Van is erre valami szó, vagy nem tudom, nem? Hogy így valaki másnak a házába élsz, anélkül, hogy tudna róla.
If there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video. This next video was taken inside an old restaurant that is currently being renovated. The person recording this doesn't say where exactly this footage was taken, and for good reason. Aside from privacy, this place isn't safe to be in. It's not just the construction that makes it unsafe, but rather something else. For just an idea of why that is, the owners of the restaurant are deeply afraid of the strange things that have happened here. Now, the person recording this is someone who I featured in a previous video. They too have been experiencing strange happenings and believe that it won't stop unless they move out from home. Given their experience with this unusual phenomenon, they were invited to see this restaurant before it's completely demolished. Although expecting to see something unusual, nothing happens. That is, until much later when they head over to the back of the restaurant. What happens then is terrifying to say the least. This is what they caught.
Watch. Ezt nem mondta.
Oh, it's cold right here. See that on me? Hello? I'm not going up there. Definitely not going back there. Oh wow, it is really cold right here. What was that? No. I don't think it's happy we're here.
De mit kamerázgat amúgy? Mármint így mondta, de...
Oh, holy... Dude, there's...
Initially, a strange shadow can be seen peeking from a corner. The man, whose name is Win, doesn't notice it until much later, after feeling a sudden drop in temperature. The room suddenly becomes cold when out of nowhere, the small figure is seen by Win.
Nem szazalni, mert az előbbi, amikor kifele ment belőle, akkor is mondtam már, hogy idegen van jóval.
The mysterious shadow disappears. Feeling extremely unsettled, Win walks out as fast as possible and ends the video there. If the reason for demolishing the restaurant is to get rid of whatever this was, then maybe it's best to completely relocate from this place. But until further info is given to clarify this incident, it seems that we won't know for sure as to who
De még most már leépült a levegő. De sűrűnek érzem most már.
Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Also, if you haven't already done so, please subscribe and make sure to hit the bell icon so you don't miss any uploads in the future. That being said, until next time,
volt, de kb. Ugyanolyan spooky volt. Ugye spooky sok. Jó van. Holnap elvileg... Holnap? Szia, Sipiszork. Ja. Holnap, azaz ma. Holnap elvileg lesz megint ilyen quiz. Kodival. De elvileg ebben mindenféle lesz. Amit... Nem. Nem cségós. Elvileg mindenki mondott össze-vissza mindenféle témát, és hát nem tudom, hogy Kodi mit rakott ebből össze. Persze, de akkor utána meg én hallgatom mindenhova írkálnak, hogy néztem a chatet, basszeg. Így basznak, így kivírni a sok hülyét. Igen, streamerként széltetlen. Jó, mindegy, szóval ez lesz elvileg holnap, ennél többet nem mondok, amíg nem tudok. Ezen kívül az este 8-tól. De előtte valószínűleg bekért játékok, más bekért játék, speedruns. Úgyhogy remélem itt lesztek, vagy egy kis videó, valami. Ja, ilyenek. Köszi. Hogy itt voltatok. Ja, ennyi. Majd rá. Puszi. Remélem itt lesz a Szintroxin.